Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. Today we are reviewing the part 4 of how to win friends and influence people. Yeah, this is the final parts of this book, final review of this book. I'm sure that we're going to love it. So let's dive right into this book review. Part 4, be a leader, how to change people without giving an offensive and harassing resentment. Chapter 1, if you must find fault, do it this way, right? In part 2 of this book, we talk about not telling people that they are wrong, right? Not falling into arguments with people, right? But I understand that there can be situations whereby people are truly wrong and you just want to tell them, just want to clear them straight up that they are wrong, right? But there is a better way to do it that you don't make them feel angry, right? The better way to do it is that you would give them an honest appreciation, right? Honest appreciation. So this is the principle, right? First of all, praise them, right? After praising them, then talk about what they did wrong in not an obvious manner, right? Just tell them, oh, you're doing something wrong, and then end it with another section of appreciation, right? Don't just praise them because you just want to oh, right, you did well, you're an amazing person, right? No, tell them that, oh, this is what exactly you did well, right? Oh, probably the person is your team member, right? You say them, oh, Solomon, right? Elizabeth, promise you did XYZ so well, and I'm so very, very proud of you for doing it like this. You took initiative, and this was really very great of you. Thank you. But you could have done this, right? And this and this and better, or in this way. That would have just made everything perfect, right? But overall, you're still just amazing, right? You've consistently shown leadership. You've consistently been a good person, a kind person, with so much value in this team because of XYZ contribution that you've made, right? That gives a soft landing. That opens their hearts to oh, this person cares about me. This person understands me, right? And that person, are able to take correction, right? Because you are not just puncturing their ego, you're not destroying their self-esteem, but you're building their self-esteem. You're giving them more confidence. Oh, I did this well. I can do it better. By themselves, they're like, oh, yes, that's true. I actually thought about it, but I feel this way. Oh, no, you don't even feel this way. You could have just done it like that, right? I know so for some people, they can relate with this. If you can relate, drop it in the comments that, yes, this has happened to me. You can just explain the scenario. Let other people learn and see that this principle is true, right? Yeah. Chapter 2 of part 4, how to be criticized and not be hated for it. A woman, one day, right, people do construction in their house, right, in their area, and whenever these construction workers are done, they just litter everywhere, leave the way it is, right? So one day she just come back from her house, right, told her son, okay, let's clean up. They cleaned up, and then the next morning when the guys came to work, she just called their leader and oh, I want to see you. And then she said, oh, I really love how this place was kept clean last night, right? The neighbors loved it and they did not feel offended by it, right? Imagine telling somebody that from that moment, from that day till they were done with the construction, these guys always end up cleaning up before they leave, right? So this is how to criticize people, and they will not hate you for it, right? Find a way, find an easy way to tell them that, oh, I really love how you do this, right? If you can keep this up, by themselves, they'll think what I did is bad, right? We made this place clean this morning and everybody were happy with it. So we should keep this up, right? People would always come to par with your standard if you do not criticize them, or if you do it in a very, very cool manner and an understandable way. Chapter 3, talk about your mistakes first. Motivational speakers uses these principles a lot to tell you, oh, I was working as a shoemaker. I used to trek to school. I trekked to school every day. I didn't have a shoe and this and right? What they are just doing is that they are telling you about their mistakes, right? Their errors, how they grow, right? To become who they are. so that you can be moved to actions, right? This is a principle that you can implement if you are a CEO, right? Talk about your mistake. Oh, I made this mistake. I'm sorry, guys. I've rectified it, although I've rectified it, right? But I actually make this mistake, right? They'll be like, oh, this person, this boss can relate to our mistakes, right? And the likes and everything. They'll come to understand you. They'll come to be free with you. And then you'll be able to have a very good team bonding with your team members as a person. So let's talk about your mistake. What you are doing is that you are pushing people to strive better, irrespective of their mistake, not to wallow in their mistake, pushing them to strive better, pushing them to go above and beyond, and not to dwell on their mistakes. Chapter 4. No one likes to take order. No one likes to take orders. And this is very true, right? What is more annoying is that when you know what to do, you figure out how you want to do it, right? And then somebody is not telling you, or your boss is not telling you, oh, why don't you do it this way? Just do it this way. I expect you have done better, this and this and that. And then you're angry, like, oh, Solomon, this is what you have to do. You have to do X, Y, Z. For you to collect your salary, you have to provide this KPI. And you're like, I know what to do already. I figured that in my head. I've planned it out in my head. You're just coming to destroy everything that I've planned out. It's really, really annoying, right? So no one likes to take orders, right? So if you're a boss, you're a CEO, or a position of leadership, don't give orders to people. That's just the truth. And let them do their job. But what you can do, instead of giving orders, is to ask questions. You could easily say, oh, have you thought about doing this in this way, right? It just makes them like, oh, yes, I thought about doing it in this way, but I actually was not cool with it, right? And I thought about this. You'll be able to know their mind, right? And even though they've not thought about it, like, oh, I've not thought about it, like, oh, yes, I think you should think about it, right? Maybe if you do it this way, just offer suggestions, right? After you ask questions, this is the way to give order. This is the right way to give orders instead of being commanding or instead of being authoritative with your orders. Chapter 5, let the people say face. It was Anthony, a French, one of the first pioneer of the French invasion, right? He says that I have no right or to do anything to diminish a man in his own eyes, right? What matters most is not what I think of the man, but what he thinks of himself. A real leader will not make people feel bad of themselves. A real leader will not make people feel bad of themselves, right? Hurting a man in his own dignity is a very serious crime. People might not forgive you so do not allow people feel bad of themselves, right? Stop telling people that, oh, hey, you're fat. Stop body shaming people. Stop insulting people, right? Don't make them feel bad of themselves. Real leaders don't do that. And then you are one. Don't do that. Chapter 7, give a dog a good name. The Carnegie said in this chapter that if you want people to change a certain attribute, right, or a certain character, act like as if that good trait already exists in them already, right? For example, there was a time that one of my friend's girlfriend posted on our WhatsApp status that, oh, I love my boyfriend because he dresses smart, right? When I said that, like, my friend know they dress smart, right? But many of my friends saw it, right? He was very, 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 very he was with me that day. I was like, guy, this guy don't go implicate me, right? From that day, my friend started dressing smart, started dressing well, right? If you give a dog a bad name, you must well just hang the dog. Just hang the dog. Let's just go and die. But if you give a dog a good name, just watch what that dog will turn out to become, right? The dog will turn out to become a very good dog. Absolutely, right? So act like that trait is already in people, right? Oh, people are, or maybe somebody likes to snore, right? Don't just tell them that, oh, you like to snore, right? Oh, you give space when you snore, right? You're not trying to flatter people, right? We are trying to make them feel happy so that they can imbibe, accept what you are saying about them, right? Give people good names, right? Call the attributes you want to say in people, right? Even a biblical scripture says that calling those things that be not as though they were. You understand, right? Call those good traits into their life. Tell them that, oh, you have this habit, keep it up. It makes them conscious of it, that they can do this. They imbibe this good character and they would live to it truthfully. Chapter 8, make the faults easy to correct. Imagine you tell your child or your employee that you are stupid, you don't know what you do, you don't have gifts, you can't do this, you don't know mathematics, you can't do this and you can't do that, and then just keep that morale. The truth of the matter is that they are never going to try out that stuff again, right? Even if your employee might try to do it because they need to be paid, right? They need to settle bills and the like, they might just try to do it again. But what matters is that they would not consciously try to improve. Now flip the coins and then you not tell your child that, oh, I believe so much in you, right? You did this thing well, right? But then you could just try to improve better. If you just do ABC, right? It will make you improve better, right? You will see that there's an eagerness to learn, eagerness to improve. That willingness to improve is not something that you can impact into them, you can force into them. It has to come from within them. And the only way you can make it come from within them is that you tell them that you believe in them and that you actually speak good words about them and not try to diminish or tarnish the way they feel. They are already feeling bad. So don't add to the way they are feeling bad. Don't add more fuel to their feeling bad, right? Believe in them, speak kind words to them, be cool with them, and you'll see that they would improve. These are simple things that parents need to learn to be able to push their children towards success, to be able to make them a better person in life. Chapter 9, the last chapter, make people glad to do what you want, right? People will be eager to do anything you want when you make them happy to do that thing, right? If you do not make them happy, they would not feel the courage, they would not feel the enthusiasm to do what you want. So if you want people to do what you want, make them happy about it, right? Thank you. So we've come to the end of this book review. For me, it has been an amazing book. I call this book Small But Mighty Book. Small But Mighty Book. And trust me, it's a very good book. I'm sure that you've learned a lot, right? If you've not watched part 1, part 2, right? If you're watching part 3, it's good. I'm sure you learned a lot. Go back to part 1, go back to part 2 to go and learn other things that you miss. Trust me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. I see everything. Thank you for supporting. Thank you. Till we meet in the next video. Bye.